Remove idols, build altars. What's an idol? Great question. An idol is anything that takes God's place in your heart, anything you rely on more than him, run to before him, or trust instead of him. An idol, an idol, an idol. We're in American idols. We got American idols. Oh, yeah. We got some American idols that we got to deal with. Success. If I could just get there, I'll be good. Can be an idol. Money. Thinking our security becomes your savior. Relationships. Needing somebody more than you need God. Image. Living for perception over purpose. Did you know that comfort can be an idol? Where I idolize my comfort zone. And anything that pulls me out of it got to be the devil. And God wouldn't call me. God said, that's exactly what I would call you to. Not only comfort, because y'all looking at me strange in the middle section. I don't know the energy. Not only comfort, but control. Did you know control can be an idol? You got to be in control of everything. Control is interesting because control, I didn't say this first service. They're going to be upset, but they'll be okay. Control is tricky because control isn't always birthed out of a nefarious place. Sometimes control is birthed out of a beautiful place. Sometimes control is a result of what's happened in your life that you did not have control over. So now that you do have more control, you want to have all control. So sometimes when you've given away control and people mishandled control, when you get it yourself, are y'all with me? It's like, no, I got this. So control says, I got this instead of God, I need you. So get in before you win, before you conquer, before you dominate. I need you to deal with the idols because idols are expensive. An idol will cost you more than you think and give you less than you deserve. Idols. An idol isn't always about something you bow to. It's typically about something you build your life around. Most of us in here, dare I even say all of us in here, when we get home, we're probably not going to build an altar with the picture of Satan, whatever that looks like, with pitchfork or whatever, and bow before a satanic altar. That's probably not going to happen. So then, the idol can't be something that looks like an idol, because we know better. So the idol has to look like something we might want. Right? The idol can't look like an idol because I'm like, I'm good. But if the idol is something that, every man is drawn away by his own lusts. So then the idol might be something I might be drawn to. So the idol might be attractive. The idol might have six packs. The idol might have long extensions. The idol typically, watch this, is what you're secretly praying that God never asked you for. I got to stay here. The idol can be the thing you're secretly praying, God, or hoping, God, don't ask me for that. See, some of us won't even pray about certain things because we're afraid God might take it. Be in a relationship with somebody, you don't even want to pray about them because God's going to tell you, nope. You remember? You're not even going to pray like, God, just show me if something going on. No, you ain't praying. Nope. All right. It's what you're secretly praying that God never asks you for. And that's the first thing God asks us for. It's expensive. It costs you. It costs you time with God. An idol can cost you the benefit of community. When you idolize isolation, it can cost you peace. Idols are expensive. Idols are exhausting. I'm convinced, I'll get to the text, I promise you, I'm good on time. I'm convinced that much of our exhaustion in this generation is not coming from our itinerary. It's coming from our idols. It's not from our schedule. It comes from who we're serving. There is a grace on our lives for what God has called us to. Make that make sense. Okay. All right. When God has called you to something, that's not to say that you don't get tired from doing it. We're human. But when God has called you to something, you can do it when you're tired as if you're not tired. If you were woke up in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, somebody wakes you up, you're able to do it. You're still tired, but you're able to do it. There are things that God has wired us with and skills he's given us and abilities, gifting. And God says, I put a grace on you to do it. Amen. Some people are graced to teach. You can teach kids who other people run away from. And they actually like, how in the world do you put up with that group? And you're sitting there like, they're good for me. I've never had an issue. What do you mean? It's not because it's not tedious, but there's a grace for it. You see that example? It's not because it's not hard. It is, but there's a grace for it. Right? Juxtapose that to something I'm not graced for. So now I'm running myself crazy in a lane that I'm not graced for. And now the people that love me the most get me the least. Chasing the American Idol. Chasing the American Idol. Idols are exhausting. Idols are expensive. They're expensive. They're expensive, and then idols are empty. They're empty. They have a whole bunch of promises, but they don't have the power to keep any. They are expensive. I got to move, y'all. I got to move. But Gideon, before we do anything, I need you to go deal with that idol. What idol? Oh, let's look at the text again. Can we read the Bible in church? Watch this. Judges chapter number 6, the same verse. Now that same night, the Lord said to Gideon, take your father's bull, the second bull, 7 years old, and tear down the altar of Baal that belongs to your father and cut down the Asherah which is beside it. Y'all missed it. Take your father's bull, the second bull, 7 years old, and tear down the altar of Baal that belongs to your father. I'll come back. Take down and tear down the altar of Baal, false god, that belongs to your father. This idol wasn't in the city, it was in his father's house. Gideon didn't have to go far. He didn't have to confront strangers. God sent Gideon to his own house. This wasn't a public issue, it's a personal one. Yeah, no, this word ain't for everybody, it's for us. This ain't just a word that's going out to the masses. This is for us. So peep this. Peep this. He says, go into your father. The idol, the statue that was constructed was in his father's backyard. So his father had a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Paganism with a little bit of what's called syncretism. So sync the different religions into his line, his brain. Like he believed in a bunch of stuff. So he believed in everything. So he had the statue in the backyard just in case. If Baal is right, I'm going to serve Baal. If sage is okay, I'm burning sage. If manifesting is fine, I'm manifesting. I just need something that's going to work. Okay. All right. Yeah. Go into your father's backyard, which means this wasn't a cultural idol. It was a close one. Some idols are in public. They're personal. I want to show you something. Now, what's interesting is God is multiple moves ahead of all of us. He's multiple moves ahead of all of us. Peep this. Peep this. He's multiple moves ahead of all of us. And through his sovereignty, Gideon's name, I didn't tell you what Gideon's name meant. That's why I messed up. Gideon's name, watch this, means cutter down. It is to cut down something. So in Gideon's identity was already everything needed for him to accomplish his assignment.